welcome back to our 10-day challenge. We made it to day 4, so well done everyone. We're almost halfway through. Today we'll be focusing on our hips. We got a lot of hip openers in our flow, so let's get started right away. As per usual, listen to your body. You know your body best, so modify wherever you need it. I'll offer modifications throughout, so see what feels best for you today. Vinyasa is throughout the flow, are purely optional. You can always come right back into downward facing dog, into child's pose, whatever you need. So let's get started. Gonna start today's class in Supta Baddha Konasana. So bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Knees fall out to either side of the mat, and then we just come onto our backs and find a comfortable position. Hands fall wherever it's comfortable. Maybe onto your belly, maybe one hand onto your belly, one hand onto your heart, maybe hands by your side. Maybe you want to close your eyes. Deepening the exhalations. Notice how the belly and the chest expand with each inhale. Notice how they collapse on the exhale. Maybe you want to set an intention for today's class. Maybe you want to offer it to someone you love, someone who needs a little extra energy today. Maybe that someone is you, and you're grateful for showing up 4 days in a row. Let's take a deep inhale all together through the nose. Fill up the lungs all the way to the top. Open your mouth and sigh it out. Once again, deep full inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and sigh it out. One last time, deepest, fullest inhale through the nose. Open your mouth and exhale, let it all go. Close the mouth and clench your jaw. Next inhale, draw your knees towards each other and hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice gentle squeeze. Massaging the spine. Maybe slowly blinking the eyes open if they were closed. And then allow your left leg to go long. Keep your right knee into your chest, and then we just draw the right knee out to the side, keeping that left hip connected to the ground. Gonna flex our right foot, and then as we're moving through mud, we're straightening that right leg out, pointing the toes at the bottom, bringing the right knee back into our chest, out to the side, flexing the foot, bringing it back down, straightening it out, pointing the toes, and bringing that right knee back into the chest. One more time, out to the side, opening the hip, flexing the right foot, and then straightening the right leg out, pointing the toes at the bottom, bringing that right knee back into our chest. Hugging the left knee in as well, giving ourselves a nice squeeze here, and then allowing the right leg to go long, keeping the left knee in. We're opening it out to the side, opening the hip, flexing that left foot as if we're moving through mud, straightening the leg out, pointing the toes at the bottom, bringing the left knee back into our chest, opening it out to the side, flexing the foot, lengthening the leg, pointing the toes, bringing the knee back into our chest. And one more time, left knee out to the side, opening through the hip, keeping that right hip connected to the ground, flexing our left foot, lengthening the left leg, pointing the toes, hugging our left knee back into our chest, hugging the right knee into the chest as well. Give yourself a nice gentle squeeze, and then sliding your hands behind your knees, gently start rocking forwards and backwards, gaining some momentum using the core. Next, roll forwards. Bring your left shin to the ground, right foot to the ground. See if you can lift your hips off the ground, flexing the glutes, bringing it back down, rolling back and changing sides. So right shin to the ground, left foot to the ground. Engage your glutes as you lift your hips, rolling it back. And one more time each side. Left shin down, right foot down, lifting the hips, rolling back and changing sides. Right shin down, left foot down, lifting the hips, engaging the glutes, and roll it back. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Bring your hands behind your knees again. Start rocking backwards and forwards again, as we did before, but this time crossing at the ankles and coming all the way into your downward facing dog. This is your first down dog of the day. Take a moment here to pedal out the feet, maybe swaying the hips, shaking the hand, whatever feels good to you right here, right now, to get comfortable. Okay, next inhale, come high onto the balls of your feet, bend the knees, gaze between your hands, and start tiptoeing your way all the way forward to the top of your mat. Find a nice ragdoll here. Maybe you want to grab opposite elbows. Maybe you want to bring your hands behind your knees, behind your back, interlacing the fingers. Whatever feels good to you right here, right now. Releasing any tension in your back, especially the lower back. Head and shoulders are heavy, and relax. Maybe you want to sway from side to side. Maybe you want to bend into one knee, bend into the other. Whatever feels good to you. And then releasing your fingertips to the ground, bringing your chin towards your chest. Slowly roll yourself all the way up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Head and neck are the last thing to come up. As they do, we roll our shoulders up, back and down. Beautiful. Bring your hands to your heart center. Feet can stay either hip width distance apart, or we heel toe them to touch. And then we take a deep, full inhale here. Sweep the hands towards the sky. Bring your hands to touch, and then exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale, hands float up, palms come to touch. Exhale, hands to your heart. Beautiful. Gonna move through sun salutation now, and then moving right on to our flow. Modify as you need it, as I said before, but most importantly, have fun. I hope you enjoy the flow. So let's get started. Inhale, hands sweep high towards the sky again. Exhale, hinging from the hips, we fold forward. Inhale to a long spine, gaze comes up, and then exhale, we plant the hands, step it back into a high plank. We lower our knees, lower our chest, lower our chin, untuck the toes, ripple ourselves forward, finding our cobra pose. elbows draw towards each other. We're engaging through the glutes, pressing into the tops of the feet. And then we tuck the toes, send the hips back with the exhale. Find our downward facing dog. Beautiful. Moving on to our flow right away. So inhale, right leg flat high towards the sky. Exhale, bring your right knee to your right elbow. Flex the right foot and step it to the outside of your right hand. Finding your lizard lunge here. Start opening through that hip. Maybe you want to circle your hips around. Changing directions, whatever feels good to you. Right here, right now. Maybe you want to lower your left knee to the ground, untuck the toes. Maybe even bringing your forearms to the ground. See whatever variation of lizard lunge feels good to you. Wherever you are, take one more breath here. And then if you're on your forearms, slowly make your way back onto your hands. Tuck the back toes. Lift the left knee off the ground. And then as you inhale, or heel toe your right foot in between your hands first. And then as you inhale, square up through the hips and bring that right arm up towards the sky. Really lifting through that left hip. And then exhale, sweep that right arm back, down, and around. Shifting the weight forward into a right foot and left hand. See if you can crunch that left knee into your chest as you lift yourself up to a standing position. We got our left knee into our chest, and then we slowly start circling our left hip all the way around. So draw circles with your left knee, trying to find some balance here. Just opening through the left hip, and then slowly changing directions, drawing circles the other way. One more time. Beautiful. And bringing that left knee back into our chest, losing my balance here. And then as if we're moving through warrior three, I'm going to shift our weight forward, extending that left leg back, bringing it down, finding our warrior two. Beautiful. In our warrior two, we take a moment for our alignment. And then we're straightening that right leg, turning to the left. So keep your toes pointing slightly outwards on both feet. And then we just lower ourselves down. Find our goddess pose. Now goddess pose, we're really opening through our hips. You can either keep your hands cactused or you bring them onto your knees. See what feels better to you. And then maybe you just want to shimmy from side to side, really opening the hips, drawing the knees out, sitting a little bit lower, keeping your spine straight. Take another breath here. Next inhale, we lengthen our feet, lengthening our legs, bringing our feet parallel. We're interlacing our fingers behind our back. Take an inhale here to open the chest, and then exhale, hinging from the hips, we fold forward. Let your upper body be heavy. Let your arms fall towards the ground. Take another breath here. Next inhale, turn your right foot towards the front of your mat, bend into that right knee and circle your upper body all the way around. I completely lost my balance here. I hope you did better. But if you lose your balance, that's totally fine. So shift your weight forward towards your right knee. Find your humble warrior. And then releasing your hands to either side of your right foot, pivoting onto the balls of your left foot. Finding your runner's lunge. Stepping that right foot back. Purely optional vinyasa. High to low. Either knees just chin or chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful, guys. Take a moment in your down dog to let the energy settle. Maybe you want to come to child's pose. Or just stay where you are. If you want to challenge yourself, maybe you want to bring your forearms down to the ground and find your dolphin. Whatever you need right here, right now. Then we're going to move on to the left side and have some nice stretches at the end. If you're not in down dog already and would like to join us, slowly make your way back into your down dog. Settle in. And with your next inhale, left leg floats high towards the sky. Exhale, bring your left knee to your left elbow. Flex that left foot. Step it onto the outside of your left hand. Take a moment here. Maybe you want to draw circles with your hips. Maybe just want to press into that left knee to open up the hip. Either stay here or release your right knee to the ground. Untuck the toes. See if you can lower your forearms to the ground. Finding your variation of lizard lunge that suits you right now. Take one more breath wherever you are. And if you are on your forearms, slowly make your way back up onto your hands. Tuck the back toes, lift the back heel, heel toe, your left foot in between your hands. And pressing down into your right hand, lifting the left arm up towards the sky, really squaring off through the hips, so lifting that right hip towards the sky. And then shifting the weight forward into your left foot, right hand. See if you can crunch that right leg into your chest. Circle that left arm around and lift yourself up into a standing position. We got our right knee into our chest now. Gonna start drawing circles with our right knee in one direction first. Finding your balance here. And then changing directions. Really opening through that right hip. One more. And bringing your right knee back to center. And as if we're moving through Warrior 3, shifting our weight forward, lengthening that right leg out behind us and stepping it back, opening up to Warrior 2. Take a moment for your alignment. And straightening that left leg, turning towards your right. I'm gonna change to face you guys. So toes are slightly pointing outwards on both feet. And we're just lowering down and find our goddess pose. So you can either cactus your arms, bring your arms to your knees, just keep that length in the spine. Maybe sway from side to side, if that feels good to you. Really pressing those knees outwards to get that opening through the hips. And just stay here for a breath. Maybe you can sit a little bit lower, really engaging through the glutes. And then with your next inhale, come all the way up, straightening your feet, bring them parallel to each other, interlace the fingers behind your back. Take an inhale here to open the chest, breathe your heart forward, and then exhale, hinging from the hips, we fold forward. Let your arms fall down towards the ground. Notice how the weight of the arms draws the crown of your head further towards the ground. Beautiful. Now taking an inhale here, as you exhale, bend your left knee, point your left toes towards the top of your mat, and then start shifting the weight forward towards your left knee, finding your humble warrior. Crown of the head reaches towards the ground. And then releasing your hands down to either side of your left foot, pivoting onto the ball of your right foot, stepping that left foot back into your high plank, and then your vinyasa, your practice, high to low, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful, guys. Take a moment here. Pedal at the feet once more. When you're ready, start walking your hands towards your legs, finding a forward fold at the back of your mat, heel toeing your feet mat width distance apart, toes pointing slightly outwards. Now just lowering yourself all the way down, finding your Malasana squat at the top, at the back of your mat. Beautiful. Use your elbows to press your knees out wide. And then bring your left hand down to the ground, really pressing into your fingertips. Inhale, open up through the right side, through the right shoulder. Getting a nice stretch here. Exhale, come back to center. And then releasing the right hand down to the ground. And inhaling the left arm up towards the sky. Coming back to center. Bring both of your hands down to the ground in front of you and slowly start walking your hands slightly forward to get a nice stretch through the back, releasing any tension in your back, especially in your lower back. Walking your hands back in, pressing into your feet, come all the way up to standing, heel toe, the feet in slightly. Inhale, arms float high, towards the sky. Exhale, hinging from the hips. We fold forward. Inhale to a halfway lift. Gaze comes up. And exhale, we walk our hands forward and find our downward facing dog. Beautiful. And now come high onto the balls of our feet. Bend the knees, gaze between our hands. Step forward or jump through to seated. And we come down to a nice cross-legged position on our mat. Okay, done with the dynamic part of our practice. Just gonna move on to some nice stretches. So, where do we go from here? Yeah, bring your right leg out in front of you. Bring your left foot to the inside of your right thigh. And then just bring your right forearm down to the ground. And inhale, left arm reaches across. We're opening through the left shoulder. Inhale brings you all the way up. Bring your left hand to the back of your mat. Sweep your right arm around. Lift the hips. Find a wild thing variation here. Lowering the hips down. Bringing your hands onto the right side of your body and get a nice counter twist in. Chin towards your right collarbone. And then inhale. Come back to center. Bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Wrap your feet open as if you're opening a book. And then gaining some length throughout the spine. And see if you can slightly fold forward. Just as much as feels good in your hips. Take another breath here. And slowly come back up. Let your left leg go long. Place your right foot inside your right thigh. Bring your left forearm down to the ground. And then inhale. Right arm reaches across. Get a nice stretch throughout the left side of your body. Opening through the shoulder. And make your way back up to center. Place your right arm on the mat behind you. Sweep that left arm around as you lift the hips. Find a wild thing variation here. Lowering the hips down. Bringing your hands to your left side. Getting a nice counter twist. Bringing your chin towards your left collarbone. And then coming back to center. Beautiful. Just gonna lower ourselves all the way down to our backs now. Vertebrae by slow vertebrae. Hugging our knees into our chest. Giving ourselves one final squeeze. So much that our nose comes towards our knees. Taking a deep, full inhale here. Flexing every single muscle in our body for 3, for 2, for 1. And exhale everything down to the ground. Beautiful yogis. Just relax here in your Shavasana, no longer controlling your breath. Coming back to a more natural rhythm. If you have time for Shavasana, please take as long as you need, as long as feels comfortable to you. Otherwise, if you want to move on with your day, let me say thank you. Always in gratitude. Gratitude for you and this practice. Namaste.